The Newsday continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. The Bangko Sentral says it's open to hiking key policy rates at its next meeting by 25 basis points. This comes after inflation accelerated for a second straight month in September. BSP Governor Eli Remolona notes that higher borrowing costs have so far not affected economic growth. Remolona took this as an indication that there is still room for monetary tightening. He also says the BSP is on the lookout for possible effects of the provisional fare hike on the country's economy.
Try not to affect growth prospects, relieve pressure from the demand side that is leading to inflation without affecting growth prospects.
The Securities and Exchange Commission has defended the plan to hike fees and charges on business groups. The agency said the proposed increase underwent thorough study. The corporate regulator will hold a dialogue with business groups today to address their concerns. Business groups led by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry opposed the plan, which they said was anti-business and could discourage new investments. The SEC is proposing, among others, to charge corporate issuers 1/4 of 1% of total indebtedness when issuing bonds. To share more light about their opposition to this proposed fee increase, we have with us on the program Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry President George Barcelon. Thank you, sir. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, Diego. The statement was issued, of course, composes of many business organizations expressing our concern on the proposed increase, fee increase. And the reason I believe is that the increase is a bit high, and as from the baseline of previous practices, and it could be may give some negative impact as far as attracting foreign direct investments.
Okay.
Now, don't quote me. I don't know whether our rates are competitive with other countries or not. But if you notice, with the last administration, we realized that our corporate income tax in the Philippines is one of the highest.
Okay.
And that's why this has been addressed by the various laws regarding in the reduction of the corporate income tax. And having said that, it's important that we project our country that we are business friendly, and attracting them to our country is the priority.
Okay.
So that is why the concern was voiced out, and but definitely an issue like that can be resolved through consultations, and wherein we can come out with some measures that would be agreeable to the general public.
You mentioned, sir, consultations. The SEC will be, I think, holding a meeting with you today, and you are raising concerns over the SEC's proposal to charge corporate issuers 1/4 of the 1%.
That's right.
Yes. Can you explain to us, sir, why this is a cause for concern?
Well, these are money to be tied up. I mean, the fees that could be paid, and it's definitely much higher than previously practiced rates. And again, how this would the SEC would justify of such increase. Of course, I know that they have to improve their IT platform and so on and so forth. We are aware of that. As a matter of fact, filing your documents to open to establish a business, we're getting some feedback that it's quite slow, and that could be due to the voluminous applications, or that could be due to the lack of IT facilities. So having said that, we are more than happy to look at it and have SEC consult with the private sector and work out something that is acceptable.
There was a mention of a supposed generalization of Supreme Court rulings. Now, sir, what's your take on that?
I'm not too knowledgeable in that issue. I take it that our letter was routed to people who are lawyers, and that is something that it was stated in the statement. I take it that there are some justification if that were to be as a starting point for discussion.
And are there other proposed fees, sir, that you are opposing?
Yes, at the onset, what was stated in the joint statement by the various business group is, if possible, this can be, in the meantime, not implemented right away until further meetings and collaborations.
Okay, and sir, the SEC said it has given stakeholders enough time to adjust, as the announcement was made as early as, I think, August. Now, sir, what do you say to this?
Come again? I didn't get you.
Oh, yes.
I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. The SEC said it has given stakeholders enough time to adjust, as the announcement was made as early as August. Now, sir, what's your reaction to this?
Well, some of the filing has been done even before or ongoing. So this is something that I would take it that businessmen has based their original budget on the previous fees imposed. Now this is something new, and how big an effect I couldn't say. But what it does project is that it's added cost, and in the meantime, while we are, the country is positioning itself to be an attractive business location for others.
Yes.
Now, I don't have the number to say how much of an impact, but the perception is there.
And so you call this you're calling this proposal anti-business. Now, how much of, aside from the things we've talked about, how much of a negative impact will this really entail on investor sentiment, especially to small businesses as well as the overall economy?
That seems to be, Diego, that seems to be a consensus when this was proposed. That maybe the timeliness of this proposal can be studied until maybe better economic conditions, wherein the impact would not be as big as what people perceive right now.
Well, thank you very much for your insights once again, and I hope we get to talk to you soon. But unfortunately, for now, that's all the time we have. Thank you, PCCI President
Thank you, Diego.
George Barcelon. Good morning. Thank you. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Electricity bills may take a bit more out of your pockets as Meralco announces power rate hikes for October. The overall rate for a typical household will be by up more than 42 centavos per kilowatt hour this month. This translates to an additional 84 pesos on bills for households that consume 200 kilowatt hours. Households that consume 500 kilowatt hours will see an increase of over 200 pesos in their October billing. Meralco attributes the higher power rates to the increase in the generation charge due to higher charges from power supply agreements and independent power producers. Meralco adds that transmission charges likewise saw a net increase due to higher ancillary service charges. The Philippine Stock Exchange is looking to make stock trading more accessible to smaller investors. The PSE is proposing to reduce board lot sizes or the minimum units required to trade a company's share. The board's regulator said this would allow a minimum investment of 100 pesos and boost market liquidity. The PSE has been making efforts to drive interest in stock trading by introducing short selling and trading via mobile apps. The stock exchange cited muted growth in online trading accounts in the past year. And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News, all sides, all the time.